Preparation week. Start the week for UCLA. Excited about the opportunity to go play out there. One-day trip. We'll leave Friday, get there Saturday, play Saturday evening. It's good to look back on the game from Saturday. I thought our team, watching the film, played probably the most complete game I think we've played, offensively, defensively, special teams-wise. And that was exciting. I was very happy to see that. I thought that we were really good with the ball. Ball security was excellent. Obviously, the snap's a snap, but Demond in the pocket I thought was terrific. I thought that decision-making, 84% completion, outstanding. I thought the way Adam Muhammad stepped in to run the football was really, really good. 3 touchdowns, super cool. To see him do that, super great. To see Jordan Washington break one, thought that was excellent. The way Amari Evans and some of the young receivers stepped up, which is also great. So it was good to see kind of all the young players on offense step up defensively. True freshman, Zadrius Rennie-Saleh, have an interception, which is exactly what we're looking for when we brought him in. I thought he was an elite player in this class. So it certainly was great to see that. Thought it was good to continue to see our corners play exceptionally well. RDA had a really nice game as a true freshman at safety. So altogether, I just felt like the team played very well. 7 out of our 10 offensive drives resulted in touchdowns. And defensively, 11 drives, only 1 score. So, a team that went to Ann Arbor a few weeks ago and was a 21-16 battle. For us to be able to play the way we did, we were really happy to see that.
How's Raiden doing?
Good. He's doing very good, actually. Very good. He's already began his protocol to return.
How about some of the other guys? Are there any chance of them playing this weekend?
What other guys?
Let's see, Hatchett, Coleman, Boston.
I think that Jonah will have a really good chance of playing, but I did think that last week going into the game that we were in a good place to get him some reps. I think that'll be the same. I think he'll be 8 days better. Or 7 days better. So I'm expecting him to be able to play this week. Denzel, 7 days better. We're going to see what it looks like tomorrow on the field, running around. He ran around today. Obviously, cutting will be the most important thing for him. So we'll see what that looks like Tuesday, Wednesday. The fact that it's a 7:30 kickoff gives us a full day of rehab on Saturday. So I do think there'll be a good chance of Jonah, high chance of Jonah, decent chance of Denzel. Hatchett was available last week, but right now Hatchett's available to play. We're just not playing him at this moment. And Drew most likely would not be able to go.
I know the team played really, really well, and after the game, it's kind of tough for you to see on the sidelines about the offensive line and how they played. But, getting the coaches' film and taking a look, what did you see from the offensive line with all the movement you had there?
Yeah, I thought they played exceptionally well. Champ played 32 snaps, I believe it was. John Mills played 63 snaps. There was many plays. I think 32 of our plays, we had 2 true freshmen at right guard and right tackle at the same time, which is pretty remarkable. We gave up 1 sack. We rushed for over 200 yards. We said that we wanted to handle their line games. We said we wanted to handle their blitzes. They blitzed over 57% of the time. We had 500 and something yards of offense, and we did not. And we ran the ball for over 200 yards. So offensive line-wise, I thought was fantastic. In that regard, Carver had one of his best games. Did a great job on the left side. Did a great job with Pocky being next to him for a full game. Pocky played every snap of the game and really did an outstanding job. Obviously, there's always going to be room to improve. There's always going to be some protection that got a little leaky that we want to fix. There's some runs that we could have gotten more out of. And then Zach, you take out the 2 snaps that got away from him. 61 of 63 snaps. I thought he played really well and did a great job at center for us.
You talk about just how big Quentin Moore is in the running game on the Jordan Washington run. You're already laughing. I must have watched that 10 times. I think he's still pushing the guy into the mountain like cut.
Yeah, it was Quinn's a fantastic run blocker, tight end. He's a true definition of a Y tight end. What they would say is someone that can catch the ball vertically downfield, but also can handle defensive ends, can also handle linebacker pressures, has the ability to make the run game go. One of the biggest things that we missed last year was Quentin Moore. The difference in being able to score in the red zone, the difference in being able to convert short yardage, the difference in being able to run the football is we've added another element that is a tremendous element in our running game. We wound up not having him after the Michigan game, and we certainly took a step down in our running game a little bit, and to have him back is big.
On the roster that you see can fill in next year and step up and be
I think Barron's going to be really good in that role. I think Barron has learned a ton from Q Moore. Barron's going to be very large, very big. Charlie Crowell will be back in January. He's built the same way, 6'4", 6'5", 260. So both of those guys that we have on the roster right now will be able to take on that role. Decker will continue to get bigger, stronger, and Deck will be able to do more and more of that as well. But I think for sure with Barron and Charlie, those two guys, and then having Cade Eldridge back will make a big difference. Cade was blocking at an elite level, but Cade can now be a fullback for us, and we could do a little more two-back offense, which we would like to do in the future.
For some fans, things like Saturday were predictable for them. They almost expected that out of your offense. What do you say to fans who say, hey, that's great, but we want to see it against the higher level teams on Washington's schedule? What's that?
I think all Big Ten teams are high-level teams, and I think that while some teams don't play as well as other teams, it's not easy, to score 7 touchdowns in a game. I don't think that I believe there's only been 6 Big Ten teams that have done that this season, or 5 maybe, in a Big Ten game. So, I mean, if it was easy to do, it would happen all the time. I believe that, they played Ohio State. They gave up 34. I think they gave up 21 against Michigan, 27 against the rest of the way. I think we scored 42 against Illinois. I think that what it comes down to is, can we, go and put up 40 or 35 against Ohio State or Michigan? Probably not right now. I don't know many people that do. I don't think that's something that happens very often. I think we all know that when you play those teams are built a certain way. They're built, first of all, they have a very expensive rosters. They have they have great depth. So if they lose players, they have players waiting in the wings. They've been recruiting a certain way. Wisconsin, Iowa, certainly Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, Oregon have recruited nationally for years. So their size up front is the difference. You have to be able to build, your team up front. I was looking at our team. We only have 8 guys, I think, on offense that have played at another school. That means of our 49 offensive players, I think 41 of them have only played at Washington. That is a very rare stat these days. So we have to develop these guys to get big enough, to get fast enough, to get strong enough, to be able to go out there and play these Big Ten teams that are going to try to, hold you down to 21, to 14, to 17, and then you got to win those games. You just got to win 17-14 and be cool with it. You got to be able to win 14-10. We all know the difference between the Big Ten and the other conferences in years past were defense, and that's not going to change.
Landon right now, is it just a matter of like that hand healing to where he doesn't have to have such a big cast on it?
Correct. 100%.
Is that more of a hindrance blocking or snapping?
Yeah, I mean, he'd have to snap left-handed is number one, and then number 2, he would have to right now block with a ball cast on. So that's a little bit more challenging than we want it to be.
Jedd, after the game, you talked about continuing to adapt to the Big Ten style play movement from the Pac-12, and you talked about emphasizing size. Where do you feel that you are there right now, and what do you feel is the next step in the development of your program in that regard?
Well, I mean, I think John Mills, I think Champ, I think Pocky, I think those guys are the type of size we're talking about on the offensive line, but they're all 18 and 19. So John was 17 up until 4 weeks ago. So the difference is when you're going against 22-year-old defensive tackles that are the same size, but they're 4 years older and they've been in a weight room for 4 years longer in college football, or they've been eating a college nutrition program for 4 years now. Those things are very different. I mean, if you want to build your team like Iowa, Wisconsin, Michigan, Penn State, Oregon, Ohio State, then you're talking about pouring resources into those guys. Huge players. You have to recruit guys that are 6'4", 6'5", 6'6". You need to recruit defensive linemen that are 6'3", 6'4", 6'5". You have to be able to get them here and put 30 pounds on them. You have to get them there and play older players. If you look at the rosters, even the team that played here in 2023, it was the oldest team in college football. You have to be able to play older players when you're playing those guys to try to win a championship, and you're going to have to match up week in and week out because you're going to have attrition. And what you don't want to have to do is go senior to freshman. You want to be able to go junior to sophomore, sophomore to freshman, and kind of build it. So it's going to take some time.
Your defense had another good game. What is it that they're doing real well that's leading to their success right now?
Yeah, I think they're doing a great job against the run. Which is now causing teams to have to throw the ball in longer yardages. You look at our defensive line, we're playing with 4 seniors of the 6 interior D linemen, kind of going back to that question of, we have an older group of D linemen. Durfee is older, Lynch is older. And then you look at the inside guys. Ontario is older. You look at Tai is older. You have guys that have played 4, 5, or 6 years of college football. So when you have that group going, then that group right there is allowing us to really be the tougher team up front and be able to stop the run because of their size, their weight, their age. And that's enabled us to be able to get some stops. And, 1st and 10s turn into 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9, now you're in those downs, like, are you going to make it throw it twice? And that's what we're going to have to do this week.